All right. Say and spell your name, please.
My name is Lawanda Thomas. First name is L.A., capital W-A-N-D-A. Last name Thomas, Thomas.
How long you been at 911?
I have been here for 4 years and 2 months.
And what led you to 911?
I always wanted to work at 911 because I'm nosy and I feel like I get firsthand information if I'm inside the building. One day I was at home and a friend of mine shared the ad where they were hiring for another friend, and I applied. Yeah, here I am.
Why do you think it is that you came here 4 years ago, but you are pretty much in charge of everything already? What is it about your personality, your intellect, your way your brain works? Why did that happen?
Well, funny story. When I applied, it's a process. When you come here, at that time, it's not as tedious now, but at that time, you come in, you take the critical test. I took the test, and then they called, can you come back for an interview, panel interview? No, yeah, panel interview. Okay, came back, did the panel interview. Okay, can you come back and do an interview with at that time, Misty, who was the training coordinator, and Bobby. Okay, came back, did that. Can you come back and do an interview with Shane, the director? And I'm like, okay, came back, did that. Maybe a week or so passed, and I get a letter in the mail saying thanks, but no thanks.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was headed to my dad's funeral, and I threw the letter in the garbage because I didn't even want it in my car. And I got back. And the day I got back, Shane called me. He was like, Lawanda. And I had the number saved in my phone. He was like, hi. He was like, hey, this Shane, 911. I'm like, I'm saying to myself, okay, and he said, I know you got the letter by now. I'm like, are you calling me to rub it in even more? But turns out he wanted to offer me the job if I was still interested. So of course I was. I took the job, and like everybody, I started out as a trainee, and I took to it like a fish to water, like it was what I was meant to do. Can't explain it, but it really, everything about it intrigued me. I went home, I studied, I practiced giving out calls. I learned all of the stuff I needed to learn, and it was amazing. And I loved it. It ain't just oh, it's a job. It is, to me, this is a career that I was made for, because literally within a year and a half, uh, Missy, the old training coordinator, she left, and we didn't have a training coordinator or anything. And they tried it where all of the supervisors were doing the training, and during that time, they would have the trainees come into the com, and I always wanted them to sit with me, and I enjoyed showing them what was what and how to do. And it got to the point where they all wanted to come and sit with me because I was going to let them do and not just, sit there or whatever. But, and it and then they were just showing me, little stuff. And then Bobby started showing me little stuff, asking me little stuff, and then next thing you know, I get called into the office. I was always the one that didn't care if I was on days or nights. Didn't bother me what time I came in. Came in on my off days. It didn't matter, and I still do that. I cover shifts every chance I get. I was that person, and am that person. And they called me in the office, and I'm like, I ain't do it, whatever it was with me. and, and they was like, Shane was like, I want to offer you the training coordinator. And I'm like, what? Me? And I'm thinking, like, you got all of these people here that's, been here years, but it was just me. I'm that mama person that nurture, and I want to pour it into the next generation of dispatchers to come along, and it is. I just learned everything there is to learn about our software, the ProQA we use, the protocols we use, and
There's an intimidating amount of technology.
it is. It is, and to say I'm a older person coming into it,
How old are you?
I'm 48. I
Yeah.
came into
You might be the oldest person I know.
I came into it at 44, but I've always been tech savvy, and when I sat down, I wasn't intimidated by 6 screens in front of me. It was just like, let's go.
Was it exciting?
It's very, till this day, I love to sit at that console. I love to be on the other end of that phone. I love what I do. I mean, the protocols make it easy because we have a script. Like, I'm not robotic, I'm gonna put that compassion across, but it tells you what to say. Like, you asking the question on there. Like, of course, you have something that may not be in there, and you have to ask. But
We've done several stories about 911, and our readers have a grasp. But if someone is just for the first time discovering what 911 does, tell them the best you can. You get a call. You got 6 screens. Give me a recap. What's happening?
okay, the call comes in. We have what's called Rapid SOS, and even before the phone rings, the phone number is pinging on the map, showing me where that call is. If they had a capability, and if it's not a disconnected cell phone. Call come in, I'm asking 911 what's the location of your emergency. You give me your location, I verify your location, I get your name. Do you need police, fire, or medical? And based on that, I launch my ProQA, and the call, I go through it, I take the call, you tell me what's going on.
Your Pro QA, that's the question and answers you have to go
Yes.
through. And that's mostly a legal issue, right? That you want to ask the same questions
So
to the same people.
everybody is getting the exact same treatment consistently. You're going to be asked the same thing. If this is your situation, the questions are the same for that type of situation.
These are highly emotional situations. People hire
Of
lawyers. They look for anything they can find.
We talk to people on what can be the worst day of their life. So what we want to do is be that calm voice. I want to be that calm, the one that's telling you it's
This is
okay.
why I want to get her on video, because of her voice. I'm just sitting here like, yeah, okay, I'm good. Okay, so you the call comes in, you got the SOS, and then you go to the Pro Q&A.
Yeah, and I go to ProQA and I ask my questions. Once my questions is asked, it gets to the dispatch point. That's when there's enough information in there to go over for the dispatcher, whoever dispatching that call. Sometimes it may be me dispatching that call. And depending on what that call is, even before I have all my information, I'm getting my units headed in that direction. And if I'm not dispatching it, I'm muting that call, telling the room what I have, so they can start units in that direction. So that's it. In a nutshell.
So when people call and they're like screaming, just get somebody here, just get somebody here, what's the impact?
Okay, they're saying that it doesn't change what I do. I understand you need somebody there, but I have to ask these questions, not only to know what's going on, but for the safety of my responding units. So I have to ask that, and I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to just continue to talk or go with the protocol. I'm going to tell you, okay, what's your name? My partner is getting someone en route. I need to ask these questions. I need you to answer these questions for me. And I'm not going to say, oh, the faster you ask, the faster that, because that's not true. That is, I hate to hear that and see that on TV. I hate that.
And that whole question and answer sequence is maybe 20 seconds.
It is, a normal call is 2 to 3 minutes, and that's us going through ProQA, getting the call in, and getting units en route. Within 2 to 3 minutes, they are.
And so while you're on the other end saying, just get somebody, you're on adrenaline. You don't realize that
Right.
we got 10 seconds.
Right. And your 15 minutes to you ain't nothing but 30 seconds to
That's
us.
right. That's right.
So that's that thing.
You have family?
I do. I'm married. I have
What's his name?
Dwayne.
And does he still work out at Tyson?
He does. He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. And I have 4 children. They're all grown. And I have 3 grandchildren.
3 grandchildren.
I do.
What's the grandbaby's names?
Janaya, Derica, and Derek. And they are not twins. They are a year and something apart. Derica is older, but they both named after their daddy. They got the same name except for A.
One of the things that amazed me when you were, the night I spent with you, was we spent the night together.
Yeah.
Don't tell your mom. This is anyway. Was that you were talking to people on the phone, you were dispatching, talking to the person over here, and hearing the call over here. How long did it take to develop that superpower?
That is the hardest part. But and what I tell my people when they start training, the best way to get that, I've always had it, but the best way to get it when you don't have it is to put a movie on your phone, put your AirPod in your ear or your headphones or whatever, put something on the TV, and when you know what's going on and can hear what's going on in both of them, you're good to go. Yeah.
What other questions do we?
It's my passion.
Here's something I thought about. It has nothing to do with this, honestly, but I wonder. So I'm on my cell phone. I live in Warren County. I call 911. You know where I'm at. I'm on my cell phone. I'm in Yazoo County. I call 911. It directs it somewhere totally different. How does that happen?
It depends on what tower you hit. Because we have people who live, just say, up in Kings and down Warrenton, down 61 South, who will hit the Louisiana Tower. And we have people over in their city, state, in Louisiana who will hit us.
Okay.
It's just what tower your phone hits when you dial out. It could be where you standing in your house. You might hit this tower this time, and then the next time you might hit a tower that brings you here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
and that happens a lot more than people think.
tell me what I need to hear. This is your passion.
It is. This is my passion. This is what I feel like I was born to do, is sit in that console. Even though I love the training, I love the QA part of it, because that's also what I do. I listen to the calls to make sure that our dispatchers are doing what they're supposed to do, and asking the questions in the order that they're supposed to ask them, the way they're supposed to ask them, because all of that is part of it. It's not just, that's the question, I read it somewhere like that and make it sound. No, you read it like it's written. So that's really my thing. But my passion is helping people, but I'm not Holly Berry. I will not come out there. But I will hold you down on this phone.
I'll help you from right here.
I will help you from right here. I will get you somebody who will come out there and y'all will go look. But I'm not gonna.
We're going to call Holly Berry, but I ain't gonna.
Yeah.